Yo guys, here's game number 3 between Happy and Lynn. Lynn just played kind of a wacky build, and if I were to ask him, I would ask him, did you plan to go for a Firelord all-in in game 2 with that double Rex play? Or was it... were you planning that and then you adapted because you got scouted or changed your mind? Or was this like the initial blueprint of a new build that perhaps is not 100% efficient, but is kind of like trying to throw your opponent off about what it really is? Trying to create an overreaction for someone defending against what could be like a tier 2 Headhunter Tower all-in with Firelord, but then it's actually a tier 3 macro game with an expansion. That's what I would ask him. And then he would say, what? What? Can you repeat again? Slower. And then I would use my best Korean and try to explain it instead. A difficult concept for sure. Let's see. I would say, 삼겹살 하나 더 주세요. And he'll be like, you're ordering barbecue pork ribs right now? You didn't want to talk about Warcraft? And I'll be like, I don't know how to say it. So let's just eat together. High five. I don't know how to convey Warcraft 3 concepts in Korean. I just know how to order food. Anyone want a Coke? Cola 하나 더 주세요. 감사합니다. There we go. Now we got spicy pork ribs and a cola. But we still don't know whether he meant to go double
I
Rex.
have a really bad worm rash. Should I put some heal spray on it?
No, worm rash is good. Just revel in it, Micro Jordan. So, what is Lynn going to do this time? Because it seems like Lynn is doing something else every game to keep Happy off balance. Happy, one of the smartest players of the scene. One of the strongest players. By now one of the most adaptable. He tends to recognize the pattern of the opponent and then solves it. It's not about playing the best build, thinks Lynn. Out loud. And I'm gathering this telepathically from the past. It's not about doing one best build, it's about doing a different build every game. It's a very StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2 way of thinking. To make minute changes in your build order every time, to keep your opponent guessing and off balance. It's so StarCraft, and it's not very Warcraft. And it was necessary in StarCraft because there were so many cheeses that could beat premeditated, known opponent build orders. And in Warcraft, cheeses aren't that good, so you really can get away with doing the same build over and over. Nonetheless, abusable by a master of the game. Let's see. Happy protecting his creep. He gets his own creep. He gets his own item. Lynn, once again doing the double Rex tier 2 build. Do Stellies give XP? Yes. Is there denying in Warcraft 3? Yes. Skellies give 12 XP, which is about half of a tier 1 unit like the Ghoul, which is 1 pop. Sorry, 2 pop. No, let me just strike that and repeat. Skeletons give 12 XP, which is half of that of a worker, like the Acolyte or the Peon. Those give 25. Ghouls give 40, they're 2 pop. And Grunts give 60. So the 4 common XP gradients is 12, 25, 40, 60. And from level 1 to level 2 costs 200. So kill 8 workers and you're level 2. For ghouls, you need to kill 5. And for grunts, 3 1/3. Skeletons, 16. Quite a lot. But every skeleton helps. So Lynn, once again with the double Rex. Headhunter, the Shadowhunter build, being on tier 2, being on 30 under 31, no Voodoo Lounge, no third burrow yet, and then bang, tier 3. 453, tier 3. His burrow just finished, so it was made before the tier 3, so that he can immediately start reproducing Headhunters after initiating the tier 3 upgrade. Again, the passive own side of creeping, on his own side. Shadow didn't pick ability yet. I reckon if Lich comes over with Nova, he might skill Heal Wave first. And against Dark Ranger, he might hold the point, see how things develop, and see if there's an opportunity for some hex damage. Or if one of his HH drops low because of some skeletons around, maybe he'll do Heal Wave. So it's a very good habit to not pick your skill point yet and see which way the wind blows. He's got 5 HH, making a 6th. And he's decided to go with Hex, but because he doesn't have Speed Scroll, he cannot do a chase and a kill. With Speed Scroll, he absolutely could. I still feel like he's over-chasing though. He is zoning the DKDR away, but he did lose a bit of time there. Happy very committed to apply that principle of where you have very little to work with. You want to delay your opponent rather than sharing creeping. That was actually a creep steal. That creep gives 20 experience, so that's pretty solid. Taking 20 away from the opponent is you get 20, they lose 20. So you get 40 XP compared to your opponent.
Grubby commentary? Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Ritaxian. Thanks for the sub. So it's a 40 XP advantage when you steal. Troll regeneration. Not yet started or finished. We see a bestiary coming out for the launch, 4th burrow, and Fortress is finishing. Undoubtedly a TC, then a Kodo or a Raider first. And then maybe eventually a Lightning Orb again, like last game. Maybe Lynn thinks he can do it better than last game.
Sometimes when there's no destroyers, it might be worth it, but as we saw on the second map, normally Happy always has a good number of destroyers.
One attack upgrade coming out for ghouls. Interesting timing that. He's getting it before Ghoul Frenzy even. Is it for creeping? It can't be for the fight. He wouldn't fight without Frenzy. So then why get it now? Why not delay it? Will it delay anything else? Perhaps it won't. Perhaps it will actually. He starts his Lich and does not have enough gold immediately to start Frenzy. But he's only a few seconds off. One attack upgrade finished for the ghouls. Oh, I guess he wants to have 1-1 upgrades. That's why. Because he's starting Ghoul Frenzy now, getting his Destroyer upgrade likewise, and he almost has enough lumber to start that wooden shield, that Ghoul armor upgrade. So maybe he wants to hit all of those upgrades at the same time, which again is a very StarCraft way of playing, timing based. And Happy did brush up on his Warcraft skills by having a 3-4 year stint in StarCraft. He became a lot better Warcraft player after StarCraft. I wish I could say the same. So not making armor upgrade yet. Just the one attack. Lich is about to come out. He has to save his money for Lightning Orb. Lich comes out, gets the Lightning Orb. Friendzone finished. Friendzone? Friendzone finished. He's got Destroyer Form finished, Ghoul Frenzy finished. Lynn, with his one attack upgrade and the amount of Headhunters, was actually able to creep quite fast. Try to consider an alternative reality where Lynn had not an attack upgrade. He would have actually lost more Berserkers here. Imagine an alternative reality where Lynn had 2 fewer Headhunters than the amount that he had. And Crep the same. His lack of DPS by comparison, he would not even have been able to finish the Magnetor Reaver level 8 creep camp. And then he would not have had Cloak of Flames, but instead it would be on the Death Knight. Though I don't think Undead loves Cloak of Flames. Death Knight is a melee only in name. He doesn't really like to stay on the front line and attack and get Cloak of Flames coverage area, because it's too risky. He's too important to be exposed like that. I think Dark Ranger Cloak of Flames might even be better than Lich. She's agility, therefore has decent armor class, and she can get coiled. She's also the second hero, so she's going to be higher in level and HP than Lich. But realistically, Undead probably sells Cloak of Flames for quite a lot of money. It's probably like 360 gold or so. On TC though, it's quite good.
Second cloak. He sold the first one.
Oh, Lynn also sold Cloak. I guess Lynn sees TC as floating like a butterfly rather than manning up like a crocodile. Let's say crocodile. Let's just accept and pretend that was a good metaphor. So will he sell the second, or is he going to keep this one? I don't know. Ideally, you want to have Unholy Aura as Orc or Brilliance Aura. Double Cloak. Yeah, he knew he was going to get another one, and it makes sense selling the first. No, he sold the second too. All right. Not a Cloak of Flames appreciator.
I like the Dark Ritual more.
Not a Cloak of Flames appreciator.
But if the Frost Armor saves
I
your
do
hero,
like that Lynn is able to be strong when he gets most harassed.
Wolf sees the
Right?
expansion, but
When
it's
I
gonna
played this
cancel.
build, and in most iterations of this build, when you get to this point where you're tier 3 with Berserker Training, Troll Regen, bunch of upgrades, Drums Aura, and Snare, 3 hero, multiple levels on each hero, when you get to this point,
Mistake here by Lynn.
you at least have a fair fighting chance. But I feel like we were losing over 80% of the games by getting attacked and dying before the 11-minute mark, before the 10-minute mark,
Cancel.
or taking debilitating amounts of damage.
Oh, does he have the time?
Oh, he's gonna lose 2 Berserkers for a gold mine.
It's so
1.
close. Oh, he got it. Last second.
2.
2 Berserkers.
Is it worth it? He cancels the mine, which takes a minute,
Lynn bought himself a lot of time.
maybe a bit more than a minute.
What's he gonna do with that?
A mine gathers 600 gold in a minute. So he's done 600 gold of delayed income damage at least.
Army as he
Not
can.
also counting the gold mine cancellation, lack of refund when it takes damage, and then the remaking of it. So let's say he's probably done, and the TP that Happy did. He's probably done 1,000 gold damage to Happy.
Consumables.
And then he self damages from Headhunter loss and TP loss speed scroll for like 700. So I guess he comes out ahead 300 gold. But he's in low upkeep. So he loses gold on that, on any delayed moment where the fight doesn't definitively happen yet. And he gives experience from the 2 Berserkers that died, 80 experience. And he's forced to TP back home where there's no creeps around, whereas Happy is taking a creep camp, which allows him to recoup some cost and get bonus XP. So overall, I would say it was actually not worth it. It's better for him to knock, see the TP, and then fight. And he just turns on Scroll the Beast first, before the fight even begins. That's so many illusions! That's gonna be very annoying for attack moving Zerkers.
A ton of damage. Stomp. Just to control the illusions at the start.
Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Candy. Was it helpful for you, Candy?
Dispel the Scroll of the Beast as much as he can. Decent stomp onto the ghouls, but
I don't think this is good for Lynn. He's fighting on Blight.
I think that should mean that
There's
Happy
this,
has a really good chance
there's
of
this
taking
Book
it
of the
well.
Dead,
Just
Wand of
doing
Illusion.
something.
There's so much junk in the trunk.
Happy fighting also partly on Blight, really good for him.
Oh no, coils, novas. I don't think this is gonna work
This is just too much. A lot of the ghouls are
for
very
Orc.
good. Plenty of them might be going
I think it
down.
will work for Happy. I don't see any threat for him to lose heroes this time. And he has the expansion advantage this time. Oh, T-Tours.
Got mass
Camera control, TC dead. Yeah, I couldn't watch either.
Call it.
Yeah. That wasn't it for Lynn.
Happy takes back the W in map.
And now it feels like the strat is just solved. Like, even though I thought Lynn got to that fighting chance moment where he reached minute 11 without being dead.
This could be a game-losing mistake here by Lynn.
Yeah.
Or maybe it feels like
I
he
think
can't
this
win
is his best fight, but even this fight, it's impossible.
Charge
There's
again.
4 illusions and the Book of the Dead.
Already.
Lich
Berserk
has
activated.
3 claws, 4, and 8 damage. Actually, it's 5 these days. The overlay didn't update.
Oh, does
There's
he have
so
the
much
time?
DPS,
TPN is coming.
and he's only got 6 population more, and then he loses 2 of it.
Oh, he got it.
I think he should have taken the fight,
Seconds.
not the hit and run.
Berserkers.
But even if he had taken it, with the amount of dark minions that are still alive from the creeping that Happy had just done, I don't think he has any
Oh, he got it.
anything left to do
Last
here.
seconds.
Let's just look at the amount of melee units there. All the ghouls and the dark minions. There's no chance.
Go down the next
And with this creep flow that Lynn had, I don't think he had a chance either to win this game. I don't see any weak point that was unexploited with the build-up that he had. So I'm very curious to see if Lynn in game 4 can make a play that make an adjustment. Maybe he'll do a wildly different strat that will account for what he's dealing with. GG, well played by Happy.